is rich to you like, hey, I want a couple $100,000, $1 million, $20 million, $1 billion?
I wanted 30 or 40,000 every month.
30 or 40,000 every month. So about $500,000 a year, give or take.
Okay. I thought if I had that much money, I could do whatever I wanted.
Okay.
That's what I decided.
So what's step one that you?
So that's the goal right there, boys. You got to make 30 or 40K a month to be able to do whatever you want to reach Andrew Tate's level, bro. And let's see how he did it right now.
You do.
So step one is, maybe that's how we ended up here together, my friend. Step one is
3, 2, 1, and we're live. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on another episode of Jesus Talks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we've got another Andrew Tate video for you today. We've got, I'm going to be reacting to Anthony Pompliano. Andrew Tate is the new Alex Jones. All right, I thought that might be an interesting interview. Let's see what we learn. And always, if you're new and you're not subscribed, don't bother subscribing, bro, unless I bring you actual value that you can apply to your life. All right, let's jump into this video.
Interview with the sunglasses on.
I have to keep them on to protect myself from the fire, which I'm about to bring to the world. Racism's for the poor people, because if you keep the poor people divided, they can't wake up long enough to do what I did and read about how money works.
Yo, honestly, I got to give him a W for that one, bro. He did say something on racism that I thought was very insightful.
The future is based on enslavement. It's based on removing your freedoms, telling you you're going to be safe, keep you believing the lies, and being a good slave until you die. It's almost like I predicted Corona itself. You know, when Noah built the ark, he was a crazy right-wing conspiracy theorist until it started to rain, right? Now he's not crazy anymore. What's the one thing I've said today you disagree with most?
The one thing you said today that I disagree with most. All right, guys. Bang, bang. I've got Andrew Tate here. I don't know where the fuck he came from, but he's here in Miami.
I want to know who this guy Anthony Pompliano is, bro. I have done no research on this guy. I really want to know who he is, but he got Andrew Tate, so he must be somebody. He's got 404,000 subscribers.
What's up, man?
Man, I'm glad to be here, my friend. I'm really glad to be here.
Listen, you can't walk in the studio looking like this. Just got swag off the charts.
Well, you know, I'm trying to stay clean. You know, this is my...
Bro, that's a fact, bro. How do you have a podcast, bro, and you're not swagged out to this, like, business meeting, bro? You got to match the energy, you know? And that was a pretty good handshake, though. That was a pretty decent handshake.
So I thought I had to, you know, dress up and look my best.
Listen, we got new lights and stuff, but you got your sunglasses on. We're just going to roll with it.
Let's do it.
No one's ever done interviews with their sunglasses on. I can't read your eyes, so that's fine. Whatever.
I have to keep them on to protect myself from the fire, which I'm about to bring to the world. You understand?
I want to know why he actually really does wear sunglasses. I think he just does it to be cool, bro. It looks cool. It's a cool thing. I got mine right here, bro. Here's the thing, though. These are prescription, bro, because I can't see anything without them when I have my contacts on, bro. But fuck it.
And this is eye protection.
All right. I think of you as like the Dan Bilzerian of Eastern Europe. Is that a fair characterization?
That's a pretty fair.
Is it fair, though? Because I think you guys are on completely different levels, bro. Dan Bilzerian is more of like, I like to do the shit that I like to do. I like to gamble. I like to play poker. And I like to get a huge amount of model agencies that just come and rotate these women in and out, right? I'm reading the Dan Bilzerian book. He's also an Army vet. He's not a fighter the way Andrew Tate is a fighter, so... But I guess maybe they share the same commonalities in mindset when it comes to setup, all right? The way they set their lives up to get all the things that they want. They basically attract all the things in their life by setting it up that way. And that's a mindset thing that you have to, I guess, train yourself over time. You just got to think.
Characterization, but there's a slight difference in that. And I'm not hating on Dan. I don't mind Dan as an individual.
Okay.
But Dan is more of a customer, and I'm more of a pimp. Do you understand?
No, I don't.
Dan's the kind of guy who would contact a man like me to get girls in his videos and his pictures. I'm the kind of guy where the girls pay me the money Dan gave them.
Why?
Because that's just how the game goes. I mean, I first...
You see, I agree, and that's what I'm saying. Like, Andrew Tate would be the guy putting all the girls together, like looking for them, making sure they qualify and meet all the right criterias. And Dan Bilzerian's the one he's getting somebody to contact the agencies, offering them money, and the models get the opportunity to be around him, and then he provides them with the same lifestyle that essentially Andrew Tate provides them. So it's kind of like they're just sharing females, bro. if you really want to think about it that way.
Made my millions of dollars. The first time I ever became a millionaire was with Webcam Studio.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is how I first ever made money. I mean, I was a kickboxing world champion, but kickboxing's not boxing, right?
Yeah.
So I'd make like $100,000 a fight. You fight 2 or 3 times a year. You pay 20% to your manager. You pay taxes, but you're not rich. But when I retired from fighting, it was because I found this little hustle of getting very beautiful girls to sit on laptops and talk to these men on the internet. And I grew this little empire. And that's how I first started making millions of dollars. So that's how I first got rich.
Where is this all happening? What country?
This was all happening in England.
Okay. So
And you know what's crazy is you can kind of do that now if you're actually really good with females and you're really connected in an industry, I guess, where you understand that women are willing to do this thing. OnlyFans is that industry, bro. All right. If you know a lot of women that want to get into OnlyFans but don't know how to, and you're good at social media, you're good at marketing, and you're good at talking to these women, maybe you have a part-time job that's flexible with hours. Give these girls a schedule. Tell them, hey, here, run their social medias. And you can make a fair amount of money, bro, doing that.
My life story is eclectic, bro. It's going to be hard to keep track. You're going to be like, what?
I'm prepared to sit here for as long as this takes because I know this is going to be entertaining to say the least.
I'll do my best.
You grew up in the United States.
Correct.
Where?
I feel like Anthony's got like a second agenda, bro. Like that's what I feel like. I feel like he's trying to really expose Andrew Tate through like his questions. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting off what he's saying. He's trying to be real, I guess, or maybe trying to be biased. So I guess I can respect that in a podcast host.
I grew up in a party town called Goshen, Indiana. No one's heard of it. It's not a party town.
Okay.
So, yeah, I grew up in Goshen, Indiana. My father was a chess grandmaster. I was on track to become a chess grandmaster. So
he was a legitimate chess grandmaster.
My father was the highest rated black chess player in history.
Really?
Yeah. So my father was a big G in chess.
Yeah.
You see, bro, I want to know if that's a fact, bro, because he says a lot of things like that. And I'm like, these things need to be fact checked because he could just be saying those things. They're not recorded. And I'm just taking it like, Andrew Tate's granddad was really the best chess master ever in history, bro. That's crazy.
So I kind of grew up around all these chess geniuses, which is a really unusual way to grow up because you have like ex-KGB guys, you have complete autists. Mm-hmm. Like everyone's a weirdo, right? You're not that good at chess and be normal.
What happened to you?
Yeah, I'm weird too, I guess. I don't know, but it was kind of weird, like growing up around all this hyper intelligence. Mm-hmm. And like even my father, a lot of people say, "Oh, I know this guy; he's really smart," or "I know this guy has a photographic memory." No, and I'm not just saying this because he's my dad. When you've met true supreme intelligence, I've never met anybody else in the world who had the level of intelligence he had.
So, like when you're like a grandmaster at chess, like Fisher chess, which my understanding is that they just scramble up all the pieces and you just look at the board.
Yeah.
He could pretty much beat anyone in the world.
Yeah, it's more than even that. It's more just like the ability to supremely recall information. When I was with my father.
Yeah, you see, this is what I was going to say. I don't play chess. I'm not an expert at chess, but from what I understand from chess players is that much like UFC, much like sports, well, maybe not much like other sports, but much like UFC, you look at the moves, you understand the move set, and they've probably learned that move set from somebody else. So when you recognize that move set, then you're like, all right, these are the counters to that move set. And for chess players, it's like, oh, this guy is doing, for example, the Grand Ricardo of 1983. Boom. Now I know his tactic that he's playing. So now I'm going to play something counter to that. And it's like they're recalling different moves from chess players that they've studied. And that's what they're implementing in a chess. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think that's what he's trying to say. And that's how you get skilled and good at something, right? Tactically.
Or if he needed your phone number, he'd ask, "What's your phone number?" And you'd say it once, and that was it for the rest of his life. He didn't have to write it down. You tell him an address, that was it for the rest of his life. He never wrote anything down. He never had to repeat anything to him. My father, when he died, someone messaged me who was because my father was in the CIA. He held the record of the CIA record for the fastest assimilation of a foreign language.
Wait, his father was in the CIA? What? What? Who are you, bro? Now I feel like I don't even know you. What? What is going on, bro? America sent Andrew Tate.
Father learned Russian within 2.5 weeks from zero. Like,
really?
He would just read a book. He just read the dictionary. Like, to these people, it's just like, just read it. When my dad died, James Altucher, do you know who he is? Mm-hmm. But James Altucher, you can ask him about my dad. Him and James played a game and it was a draw in the end. And James did a tribute to my father saying that he was just a scary dude. Like he was just supremely smart, right? So
when you were growing up, did you know your dad was in the CIA?
He had left the military by the time I was like 3 when he left.
Got it.
To pursue chess. So yeah, he was a linguist. He knew like 4 languages and he was a professional chess player. And I grew up around this absolute supreme intelligence. And I always knew, even when I was a child, that I was smart, but I wasn't that smart. Mm-hmm. Like my beautiful mother watered me down. Like I didn't have what he had. Like he was complete. He remembered every chess game he'd ever played. So you could be sitting there and he'd say, oh, I played it.
Pretty much he had a high level of memorization. That's something that I guess you can utilize, right? Is learning to memorize something, like repeat numbers, learning to withhold or hold information in your head for a long period of time. Now we live in a society where we have high levels of ADHD, high levels of dopamine hit, and we're not training ourselves to actually memorize or retain information because we can just look at our phone and be like, oh yeah, that's the time. I don't need to watch anymore. I don't need to memorize phone numbers anymore because my phone knows everything and I can do things a lot faster through my phone. But with that, we lose a big part of what can make us creatively smart and implement those ideas in the real world, right? If we memorize things, if we retain that information instead of always having to open up Google. And the thing is that a lot of people don't even open up Google, bro.
In 1982, and he'll just go through the whole game. Or he could beat you at chess without looking at the board. So you'd have a board in front of you and say E4. He'd be in another room, C5, knight F3, knight C6, and he'd be cooking dinner and he'd fucking smoke you.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. He'd play simultaneouses where he played like 100 people in a row. So they'd sit there and they'd think, and he'd just go board to board, just make quick moves. He played a blind simultaneous where I'm just talking about different, you have a board and he has nothing. He played 3 people at once blind, beat them all. That's how good grandmasters are. This is what people don't understand about chess.
Nah, bro, no. That's different. That's different, bro. That's like, yeah, let me just fight 5 people, go in and just let me just jump in, jab, 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 boom, boom, boom. Let me tire him out. Then let me get the next guy. It's like what Khabib was doing, bro. Just like every round, a fresh new body. It's crazy. That's insane.
Chess. I'm a kickboxing world champion, and I'm telling you, forget the UFC, forget kickboxing. The hardest sport in the world is world level chess. These guys are wired different. You can't learn it. You either have it or you don't.
So how do you go from your dad being so intelligent, so successful at chess, to wanting to kickbox?
Because to me, they're the same thing.
Okay, why?
Because I was growing up with chess, and then my mother and father split up. My mom was English, wanted to go back to England. I was 10 or 11. We went back, and in America, chess is quite big in the schools. And obviously, I had my father as a coach who would take me to tournaments, all these things. I lost my...
So you played a lot as a kid.
I was...
The thing with chess is that it's very mental, right? But obviously, physical sports is a lot more physical. But UFC is mental and physical in all aspects of... all different aspects of your body. In things that you can do, right? So kickboxing, you're utilizing your legs and your hands, and then you're trying to memorize all the strategies that they're doing, and then you're trying to adapt, overcome, boom, 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 right? Like, and then you got to keep the stamina, so it's physical and mental, and you don't even get paid a lot for it. I'm pretty sure you don't get paid a lot to be a grand chess master either.
Chess champion age 5 in Indiana, the under 16s. I was the youngest to ever win it. I remember I was sitting there across from some 16-year-old. When you're like 5.5, that's scary, right? And I remember when I beat him, he cried. That made me happy. I was like, ha. Not so big now.
At 5 years old,
yeah,
you were the Indiana State chess champion.
In the under 16s, yeah. So I was the youngest ever.
What?
So I was way on.
Yo, is there records of this, bro? I gotta see this, bro, because that's insane.
I was on the way to becoming a grandmaster.
Did you watch Queen's Gambit? I'm assuming everyone's asked you about this.
I haven't watched it because I believe it's feminist Hollywood garbage and it's propagate.
No, I have watched it, and I really want to see what his take on it, because it's not a feminist driven storyline the way that I guess he's gonna say right now.
The demise of masculinity amongst the population. So sorry to give you a Alex Jones answer, but the answer is no, because it's just feminist garbage and it ain't true.
Nah, bro, watch it, bro. Watch it. Give it a chance, because it's not what you think it is. It's not.
Why do you believe that?
I believe that because that's what's obviously happening. I mean, there are talented female players, but they're not nearly as talented as the men overall. They're not nearly as good as the men overall. I think the best female in the world is like number 50 in the world if you incorporate men. And I believe that Hollywood takes every single chance it can to empower females to the point of reducing men's ability to look like a man, right? They just want to feminist propaganda. That's all it is. This woman comes along. She's beautiful. Everyone doesn't take her seriously. She beats them all at chess. Every dude in every movie is getting beaten up by a chick. That's not real. Whenever you watch something on TV in every sitcom, the mom's the smart one. The dad's the bumbling idiot. Like, I just feel like men are kind of under attack and watch a chess movie, which I know is absolute fantasy, which is just propagating females beating men at something else they don't beat men at. They don't win.
What's the best female chess player of all time?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you have any clue that have they ever been top 10, top 5?
No. It's going to be like, I think maybe top 20, maybe top 30 at most, never top 10.
Okay. And so how big is the difference between top 10 and top 20 or top?
All right, look, I'm looking up chess.com, bro. I'm under the 52 list, and there is no female, so I guess he's right. But that being said, like, who cares, bro? It's just a movie. Watch the movie for the story. It's actually a good story. And either way, I've been watching Alone. If you haven't been watching Alone is like a survival documentary on Netflix. They get like 10 people to go on like an island to live off the fat of the land, create a house and all this shit. There's like 8 seasons. I just started watching it yesterday, and I'm gonna tell you something, bro. The women ain't hunting. I'll give them that. The women ain't hunting. They gathering, but there are a few men that be going out there and not hunting either, bro. And it's like, it's discouraging to see that women aren't hunting, bro. It is. It really is.
30.
It's pretty big. And although in like
if number 5 sits down with number 25, is it just 99 out of 100 times number 5 wins, or
more like 70-75%, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Because what happens in chess is, especially if you're really good, even if you're in a losing position, you can push for a draw, right? So it's very hard to beat someone better than you. You might get a draw out of them, but to actually beat them, actually to crush them is difficult. And this is what my dad was so known for. My dad is famous in the chess community to this day. Emery Tate was his name. They called him E.T., as in the alien. Because my dad was one of the only players who would never take a draw. And he would rather lose in a blistering blitzkrieg fashion than take a draw, right? So he had some big losses, but he also had some fantastic crushing victories where he just went all out. He was really on the board. It was blitzkrieg. He just come at you with everything. And everyone to this day, even when he died, James Altucher was talking about him saying, I never played a guy who played chess like that. The guy was just crazy. Yeah. So he was a crazy.
I got him right here, bro. Chess.com, Emery Tate. Obviously, his father is a international master and 5-time Armed Forces chess championship. Wow, in Indiana State. That's crazy, bro. He collapsed in the middle of a game in a chess tournament in 2015, dying tragically, bro. He died doing what he loved, bro. Andrew Tate's father died doing what he loved. Emery Tate died playing chess. That's crazy, bro. That man left a real legacy behind, bro. And that's why he speaks so highly of his father, bro. Even though his father was only around apparently for like once a month, is what Andrew Tate was saying. That's crazy.
Why do you say chess and kickboxing are so similar?
Because I want to make someone else cry. Mm-hmm. Like the 16-year-old I made cry. Secondly, in most sports, there's a degree of luck. I'm tired of listening to poker. Every time I mention chess, some guy mentions poker. I don't play chess, I play poker, as if it's the same intelligence level. Shut up. One, it's not, right? Poker, yeah, you have to.
I play poker. It's not, I don't think it's nowhere near the same intelligence level as chess. But I don't know. I mean, you can get lucky at poker, bro. You can't get lucky at chess, bro. You cannot get lucky at chess. But you can get lucky at poker. A lot. You can get lucky at poker.
Semi-smart, but you don't need to be an actual genius to play poker. Yeah. That's the first thing.
Because of the luck involved?
There's luck. I don't care how good you are. If I get pocket aces every single hand and you get a crap hand every single hand, no matter how good you are, I'm likely to win overall, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas there's luck involved. Which is
why it's so hard for me to believe Dan Bilzerian's entire story about how he won every single hand. I mean, he has photographic evidence in his book, but it's so hard for me to believe that he went from like playing small pot games, building that up, using his network towards like hustling other big players that aren't as good out of their money. Like, nah, bro, I just don't think you can do that, bro. I don't believe you can. But there are obviously some people doing it, bro, and I guess that's it.
And in most,
you know that luck's not real, right?
You think is luck not real?
Yeah. You want to hear my theory on this?
Tell me.
So luck is purely a psychological concept. So all these people who are like, "Oh, I got lucky," no, you didn't. It's probability. So
I was gonna
probabilities.
say, oh, is your shit gonna be probability or odds or whatever? It's the same thing, bro. That's what we mean when we say luck. We obviously mean probability. You don't have to get all fucking meta on us, you fuck.
A mathematical concept, right? Meaning that the hand that you get dealt, that's not luck or not luck. It's just probability. So you had low or high probability of getting that hand. Same thing with outcomes in life, right? It's all probability based. Luck is a psychological concept, meaning that let's say you and I both go to war, right? And your leg gets blown off. And I say to you, man, you know what? You were really unlucky that you're the one who was sitting in that seat in that vehicle that got blown up. And you may say back to me, no, I'm lucky because I got my other 2 arms and legs. And so luck, even though we both see the same situation, it's all the mentality. That's what determines luck.
I completely agree.
I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying when it comes to the mentality of luck and shit like that. Like, don't think you're lucky. Like, you can have a shift in mentality. You can have negative luck where it's like, oh, like you said, I blew up my leg, or I can look at the outlook of the positivity and I still have my life. You know, we get it, bro. But you know what we mean by luck, bro. I lost $1,000 playing poker. I had double aces, and somebody else got a trip of 2s, bro. I don't care, bro. I'm mad. I'm tight. I got unlucky. Don't matter, bro. Don't matter. I know it's probability. Don't matter. I got unlucky.
With you, don't you think that viewing yourself as a lucky individual will give you an advantage as viewing yourself as an unlucky individual, even though it's all probability based? If you go through life,
there's academic research that suggests literally the best way to become quote unquote more lucky is to literally just start saying, I'm a lucky person.
Well, there you go then.
But it's all psychological.
Yeah.
There's scientific evidence by saying I'm lucky. See, like, I think you'll just feel better off it, but just by saying you're lucky, I guess you're programming your brain to go out and do things. If you're just telling yourself, that's a problem with these people that are like, oh, manifestation and shit. Oh, I manifest this. I visualize this. It's like, yeah, you're manifesting, you're visualizing, you have the positive framework, but you're not doing anything about it. So what's the point of doing all those things if you're not going to actually put effort into actually doing those things and getting it in return? That's the problem with some of the society, all right, where they're just looking at the positive frame set. Oh, at least I have the positive frame set, but you're not doing anything, bro. Cut that shit out. Have the positive outlook and then go do something and then learn from it. That's it.
Yeah. It's all psychological. The concept of probability versus the concept of luck gets completely conflated in society, and it's safe, right? Everyone says, oh, I got lucky. Why are you successful? You ever heard a successful person? No one wants to say, hey, there's a probabilistic environment that got put into, or a probabilistic.
Some of us are going to get rich. Yeah.
And I made decisions that helped me get there. Yeah. Everyone just says, oh, I got lucky. No, you didn't. It's a psychological concept, because that same person who did this exact same steps in life would walk away and say, I didn't get lucky. I'm unlucky because XYZ reason.
Exactly. And that's why when opportunity comes your way, you jump on the opportunity because of all the life experience that you've already had. And you know, hey, I'm going to do better in this position, in this environment, compared to somebody else because they haven't learned the lessons that I have. You get that? You get that? That's how you increase your odds of being more lucky.
This is true. I actually completely agree with you. But
it's one of the things that I believe and can prove from a psychological and mathematical standpoint that the most number of people get very uncomfortable when I talk about it.
No, but I agree with you completely. But I actually agree with you. I've always viewed myself as exceptionally lucky because I just think that's the best way to approach situations.
Yeah, it completely changes the psychological way that you view the world and what you can do. It's just like saying I'm a happy person.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden things that happen to you that would take you out of that state of happiness are much less likely to actually have an effect because you just view yourself as being a happy person.
I completely agree. In fact, I said something like this. Someone was talking about feeling sad or whatever, and we're talking about when am I ever sad because I'm always so positive. And I said, no, I'm different variations of happy. I have more happy and I have slightly less happy. But unless something terrible's happened, I've lost a family member, unless I'm literally distraught, every day's a happy day. Even sad days are a happy day. They're less happy than yesterday, but it's still a happy day. Overall, I'm a happy, lucky person, and I refuse to categorize myself as anything else. So
you see, and that's the thing, bro. It's like if you can do that every single day, just wake up with the mentality of I get to do this. I will do this. All right, just with that little frame of mentality, you won't stay in bed. You're gonna get up. You're gonna get done what you need to get done. And then you're gonna learn from it, and you're gonna get better. And then when there's gonna be certain opportunities that present themselves in your life, and you're gonna be able to appreciate them, be grateful for them, and execute harder than anybody ever has. All right, that's how you set yourself up every single day. That's how he went from brokey to top G, bro.
I agree with you.
All right, so kickboxing. You end up becoming a 4-time world champion?
4-time world champion. Yeah.
Okay. So like that's not like, hey, let me go out in the backyard and like kick somebody in the head and hope like I'm good at it, right?
But I took chess very seriously. Chess was 6 hours a day of my life, and I wanted another sport. I won't say luck again because we've had that conversation, but I want another sport where a teammate couldn't save me or that there was no probable chance that my opponent would have an unfair advantage like poker. So chess is one-on-one, and if you lose, somewhere along the line you made a mistake. And fighting is exactly the same. And both of them are brutal. And in both of them, you're trying to crush your enemy as ruthlessly as possible. And I saw the mental similarity between the two. So I decided to start learning to fight. I started when I was around 16 and I became world champion at 23. But it's all I did.
16. All right. So you started at 16.
Yep.
And when you decided to do this, I know very little about kickboxing,
yep.
but my guess is that that's not something that you're just like naturally good at, right?
I think you can have... there's certainly some talent level. You can be naturally good at it. Fighting, very much like chess, is also a thinking man's sport. Mm-hmm. I've had 87 fights. My nose has never been broken, right? Mm-hmm. You see the fighters that look like fighters. They're not as good as the fighters that don't look like fighters. Those are the ones you got to worry about, right? So it's certainly a thinking man's sport. It's certainly tactics. Fighting's very simple. Fighting's like tag. If you were to play tag in slow motion, it's extremely simple. It's easy.
You see, and if you ever actually watch Andrew Tate's fights, bro, dude really takes a step back. He lets the other guy throw punches, and he's really thinking about, all right, he's literally memorizing his pattern on how he moves and what he throws, and then he's thinking about it and then countering. And then he notices, all right, this dude's finally tired. Now let me put the pressure on him. Let me see what he can take. And he's slowly picking him apart. He's a really methodical fighter. Just watch Andrew Tate. So everything he's saying, I believe him. I believe it. I believe he's very accomplished at 16 playing chess against other kids, bro. I believe it.
But it's hard because things are happening quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all fighting is. It's not complicated movements. They move their hand, you can see a gap, you hit them, or you slide, or you move to the side. It's just everything happens so fast. That's all it is. So,
but the only difference with kickboxing is it's not just your hands, right? And kind of punching. There's this whole element of like hip mobility and flexibility and the ability to kick, right? And not only to kick somebody in the shin, but to be able to kick them in the head.
Yeah, kick them in the head.
Like there's
It's not just the mobility. It's also understanding when to do it and when your body is best capable of executing these things. And that's when your brain is thinking so fast, you're not even really thinking anymore. It's just muscle memory. You've done this 1,000 times. Boom. I'm so good at this counter. Boom, boom. Immediately hits him back. Cash a leg. Boom. Hit him right back.
An added level of complexity when you go from boxing to something that looks more like a UFC or a kickboxing.
Yeah, in some ways, yes, there's an added level of complexity, but also in other ways, there's an added level of simplicity. Because because in boxing, you have less weapons. So you have less to worry about, but you have less to hurt him with. Mm-hmm. Whereas in kickboxing, you have more weapons. You have more to worry about, but you have more to hurt him with. So in some ways, like in boxing, it's harder to find a way to hurt him, even though you have less to worry about. Whereas in kickboxing or UFC, there's always a way to hurt him, right? So I wouldn't say one's necessarily harder than the other. I just chose kickboxing because it was the only gym I could run to. And my mother and father split up. And I loved my father with all my heart, but chess doesn't pay that much. And he loves booze and gambling and women. So he was broke. When we were in England with my mother, the British social system gives you a government housing. So we were on welfare effectively. So she had no car. And I was going to school, and I was also working in a fish market. And I would carry boxes of ice, like 30 kilo boxes of ice from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. every day for no money. So I needed a gym where I could run to. I couldn't, there's no other way for me to get there. It was before Uber. I couldn't afford taxis. So the nearest gym I could run to was a kickboxing gym and not a boxing gym. And that's kind of how I ended up kickboxing. My coach was a Bosnian special forces guy, and he was there, and that's it.
So when you walk in at 16, do you want to go compete competitively? Do you just want to learn how to fight? What's the thought process?
I was just perpetually bored. I really don't understand people who say they lack
You see how at 16, bro, dude is doing something physical, some kind of sport that requires pushing your limits at a young age, as you grow older, if you continue that consistent path, you're going to get better. And that's why he's 35. Looking good, bro. Looking good. W Tate. Working out since 16. That's crazy. I didn't step in my first MMA gym till I was like 23.
Motivation in life, because I'll make this extremely clear. If you're not pushing and striving for something, life is so mundane. I've always had this problem with literal crippling perpetual boredom. I was bored. I had no money. I'm carrying boxes of ice. I'm a smart guy. I'm not playing chess anymore, right? I'm 34 now, so this is quite a few years ago. It's before the internet, before Facebook was all big and nothing. What do you do with your life? What's there to do? I thought I need to do something which drains me so that I can go to sleep at night without frustration. And if I kickbox, if I run 3 miles to the gym and then fight for 3 hours and run 3 miles home, at least I can sleep. I literally couldn't sleep. I wouldn't say it's ADHD, but I was just frustrated. And then on top of that, I've always had this huge frustration in regard.
See, and he was probably frustrating. Maybe he wasn't as wealthy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he was poor and he was hungry. And a little bit of that starvation maybe pushed him to be like, yo, like, I really want to do something. I really want to be the best, bro. Like, I don't even know how that grows inside you, bro, but it only grows inside of you through a certain amount of struggle that you face in your life. I don't know what he went through. He's not explaining it yet, but that's definitely something that I'm seeing there.
To money, even though I was poor, I'd grow up around a bunch of other poor kids and we'd be walking to school or walking to college and a Ferrari would drive past and they'd go, oh, cool, Ferrari. And I'd say, doesn't that annoy you? And they're like, what do you mean? And I'd be like, he knows he's hacked the matrix. Don't you see? How does he have 400 grand for a car? He knows something we don't know. Well, aren't you annoyed that there's people out there living a lifestyle that we can't ever aspire to? We're never going to work a job and pull this off. Doesn't this bother you? And they all be
so, yeah, that really bothered me, bro. And my point, that same story that I had was when I used to watch Gossip Girl. All right, make fun of me, blah, 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 whatever, bro. I watched that shit. It was cool. And then I saw this guy, Chuck Bass, bro. And I'm like, yo, like, yeah, he was a trust fund baby. And he had a lot of money, but I'm like, yo, I live in New York. He's in New York. They're making moves that I could be making to live a similar lifestyle where I have financial freedom. I'm like, if I'm going to do it anywhere in the world, it's going to be here. So I cannot make excuses. And school is not something that they were promoting or educating for getting wealthy in that time. And I saw that. Mom, fucking other parents, teachers, they were telling you, oh yeah, education is the way to go to become wealthy. And I'm like, nah, I don't see that, bro. I don't see that. I mean, maybe if you was a doctor, a lawyer, all these other professions, but for real money, nah, that's not it. It's businesses.
But me, I was always angry. I was always angry, not angry in a go to jail way, but just I was angry. I was like, something isn't right. Something doesn't add up. So kickboxing was my answer. I just started kicking people's ass and I just felt a little bit better. That was kind of how it worked.
At what point did you realize you were like world class at this?
So when my first day in the gym, I walk in, my coach, it was 4 Bosnian men. I was a child. It was 4 Bosnian men in this tiny little terrible gym. It was not like a commercial gym or a commercial class. And he said, can you fight? And I said, yeah, I've done karate for a few years. That I got knocked clean out my first day, of course.
What? He got knocked out his first day, bro. And a lot of y'all won't even step in the gym, bro. And in those times, it was a lot harder, bro. All right. My first week, I think my 3rd day, I was training with somebody that was an actual fighter. I was sparring him. Immediately going at it. And they're not going to try to destroy you. They're going to try to humble you if you're very aggressive. Because if you punch somebody, you better be willing to take the hit that you just gave out. All right. And that's just the truth. So for me, I was very eager to learn. So I was throwing kicks. I was throwing everything that I had already learned when I was on my first sparring. And I got my ass whooped, bro. And I learned. I'm like, yo, listen, they're not going to kill me. They're not going to hurt. They're not going to destroy me. But they are going to hurt me enough so that I can improve. And those are the people that you want to train with. And most gyms are like that. You're just too scared to jump in and get punched in the face. As soon as you do, you get hit in the face enough times, you're going to stop being scared, bro. It's just going to become muscle memory. But you have to put yourself in that position. It's not that scary. Believe me. They're not going to try to kill you.
I guess they expected me to never come back, but I kept coming back. And my coach said to me, look, after about a year, he said, look, I want to put you into a fight. And he took me down to a town called Southend-on-Sea. And my first fight wasn't kickboxing. My first fight was actually MMA. And it must have been a little bit over a year because I was 18. And I was fighting a 24-year-old security doorman. And being a stupid American, I thought pounds and kilos were the same because I weighed in at like 82 pounds. He weighed in at like 90. No, I weighed in at 82 kilo. He weighed in at 90 kilo, which is an 8 kilo difference, which is almost like 20 pounds. And I was like to my coach, is that a big difference? He's like, no, don't worry about it. I was like, okay. But thinking back, a 20-pound difference is a big difference in fighting, right? And I got in there and I won. I didn't win necessarily through skill, but I just kept going and I just outgassed him. And towards the end, I'm just on top of him, just punch him in the face, right? And I'm only 18 years old. So from there, my coach was like, okay, you have some potential. And for a long time, I believed it was my only way out because like once again, before the internet and stuff, I'm going to college. I finished college. I don't.
Damn, you see, but at 18, for you to be this big, bro, to be like 6'1", this amount of weight and have this anger about, I want to make it. And then, that self-discipline with a positive mentality and then just being consistent in training, like, maybe you might see that as the way out, bro. It's not the way out for a lot of people as he learned the hard way, but he put himself in that situation. I guess when you're big and overly aggressive, that's usually the line where people tend to go, and that's where he went. That's the road that he chose.
I don't believe in university because I'm too smart to get in debt for formal education. I'm too smart for that junk. So I finished college. I'm working these sales jobs. I was always a good salesman. So I'm working sales jobs. I'm bringing in, $3,000, $4,000 a month, whatever. But I thought my only way to get rich is fighting. I couldn't think of another way to get rich. Mm-hmm. And I didn't fight only to get rich, but I saw light at the end of the tunnel. So that's all I wanted to do was just fight.
And so at what point do you go fight for the first world championship?
So I fight for my first ever world championship on 2 days' notice. So I'm in Slovakia. There was a town. I'm going to tell everyone now on this podcast. I'm going to give the secret away. If you're bored right now, if you're watching this on the internet, load up Google Maps, right? And there's a town called Košice, Kosice. And it's on the opposite end of Slovakia to Bratislava. So Bratislava is the capital, and then you have Košice on the other side. It's 4.5 hours drive from Bratislava. It's about 4 hours drive from Warsaw and about 4 hours drive from Budapest. It's in the middle of nowhere. But all the villages and all the towns, everyone around this little town, every hot girl within about 400 square kilometers lived in this town because there was nowhere else to go.
Yo, boys, get your pencils out, get your notepads out, get your phone out, write this down, bro. That's where you want to go to get all the hot girls. That's Andrew Tate giving y'all some sauce right now.
Right? And they were all there. And when I was going there, this is pre-EU. They didn't have the euro. And me and Tristan used to go there on holiday because we would clean up. And when I say clean up,
Tristan's your brother.
My brother. And when I say clean up, I don't mean clean up like you clean up on holiday with some in Mexico. I mean clean up with tens, like supermodels. It was unbelievable. And a beer is like 30 cents. And we're the only men there who speaks English. It was so much fun. So we used to go to this little town. I'm saying it now because it's completely ruined because they built an airport and then the European Union came along and all the hot girls have left. They all live in Switzerland now and they're all in Dubai and it's all ruined. This is all before Instagram and all that crap, right? Instagram.
So then never mind. He ain't dropped nothing, bro. He ain't dropped nothing. I don't know why he even brought up that story, bro.
Ruined the world because back then a hot girl would be hot and she'd be stuck in her town. Now she's hot and she's in Dubai, right? So the game's different, right? But so I was in Košice and then I got a phone call from Amir saying you have a world title fight in 2 days. I was literally drunk at the time. And
who's Amir?
Amir's my coach, sorry.
Okay.
He's a Bosnian Muslim. He fought in the Yugoslav conflict. He got shot 6 times, didn't die. That's Amir. Right? So he's still like a father to me today. And
shot 6 times and didn't die, bro. Who's Amir, bro? Is he 50 Cent's cousin? What?
I must have been crazy. I was like, okay. I can't explain, and I want to say this in a way where it's truly understood. When I say I didn't give a shit if I lived or died, I don't mean that in a sad, suicidal way. I mean that in an empowered, charging at the gunfire way. Back then, I didn't think...
Like a warrior, bro. Like a warrior that's willing to die on the battlefield for what he believes in. All right? That's the mentality that he took to fighting, bro. That's what Conor McGregor did. That's what Khabib did. That's what every fighter in the UFC that goes in there and is like, yo, Israel Adesanya too. I'm willing to step in there and I'm not leaving until I either win, lose, or die. Those are the 3 options. So I can respect that, bro. And that's what you can learn, bro. You can take the same approach towards any field that you're in. When you're in a complicated position, when your back's against the wall, that's the mentality that you have to adapt. All right? Read The Art of War.
I had anything really made me really give a shit about living. Not in a do sad way, just in a let's go out in a blaze of glory. Then I'm not rich. I don't have nothing. I'm just banging girls in Slovakia. Well, who is this guy? So it was against the French world champion, Jean-Luc Benoit was his name. And the opponent pulled out and they needed a guy on 2 days' notice. And I had to lose 6 kilos, which is around 13 or 14 pounds in 2 days. So
is that easy or hard?
That's hard, bro. 13 pounds in 2 days, a lot more.
13 pounds in 2 days is incredibly difficult, bro. Imagine you being in the sauna, your body's in shock. You could like die and shit. Like, that's a lot of water weight that you're trying to take off in 2 days. I don't know how he did it. I guess he just literally ran.
Wait to lose. So I just stopped eating, stopped drinking, sitting in saunas, spitting all the water, just dying. Finally made weight, went to France, fought him 12 rounds, my first ever 12-round fight as well, fought him. And they gave the decision to him, but I was robbed. I beat him. I beat him. I didn't knock him out, but I beat him. And
is this one of the 4 world championships, or this is a 5th?
No. Yeah, well, it should be, yeah. But the tape was so convincing. The tape was actually sent off to the ISKA, the fighting organization, and they demanded a rematch. So they knew I won, right? Okay. But he's France. He's French. It was in France, and fighting has a lot of politics to it. You have to understand. I mean, UFC is UFC, the real big ones, but outside of the smaller ones, it makes more sense for the French promotion of a French champion. They'll sell a lot more tickets and a lot more pay-per-views with a French champion.
So basically, either you knock him out or it's going to go to.
It's kind of like that, right?
So he didn't win, or he did win? I'm confused.
So they commanded a rematch, and I rematched him 7 months later and knocked him out in the 8th, and I became world champion.
Okay, so he won. Andrew Tate, good job, bro. Good job.
Okay. Why keep going once you've won?
There's always a new mountain to climb. I mean, that's a good question, because that's also kind of the reason I quit. Because it's like, why keep going? Well, there's always someone new to fight, and I'm still not financially where I want to be. And
you see, that right there, bro, is like he accomplished his goal, and it's only downhill. After you reach the top, it's only downhill. So like he said, you have to climb a new mountain. You have to find something else to pursue that's going to test you. That's going to make you competitive. That's our purpose in life until the day we die. That's why you go at it like you're going to die. Because you're heading there anyways. You might as well head there on your way up instead of on your way down. It's a great mentality to adapt.
Don't know what else I want to do with my life. So I'll keep going, right? So I fought again. I beat another Frenchman. And then I fought again. I beat 2 Dutch guys to become 4-time world champion. But one day I woke up and I was like, is becoming 5-time world champion going to improve my life? I mean, do I need 5 belts?
How much money do they pay for these fights?
Okay, so first things first.
Like $10K, bro. Maybe $30K for the title, but like maybe $5K to show up, $10K if you're known.
Fighting is the worst career path in history.
Why?
It's the worst career path in history. Because it involves a degree of probability, much like modeling or being a musician, right? You can be a fantastic musician. You can be better than every known musician in the world. But if you don't know the right people or right place, right time, come up with the right tune, you're just not going to be famous. Same with models. You have the models we all know. There's a whole bunch of women prettier than them who are just doing the little low-level model circuit, not making any money. There's a degree of probability involved with it. That's the first thing. The second thing is, it is show business. It's not all about how good you are. It's how good of a show you can sell. So if you're really, really...
See, and that's what a lot of UFC fighters mistaken when they're like, oh, why don't they pay me enough? Why don't I have healthcare and all this crap? Because you suck at talking. You suck at getting people's attention. All right. You have to be a great fighter and you have to be a great marketer as well. You have to be able to tell your story, know your story, front and backwards, understand your challenges, understand your mentality. These are all the things that the people that are watching you want to learn about and hear. And they also want to be entertained. They want the beef, you know, or make up your own way in which to entertain them, bro. But they want that, bro. You need to be good at talking. Everybody that wants to do anything and wants to be great, you need to be a great communicator.
Good, but nobody's interested in watching you fight. You don't get fights. Yep. Why would someone let's say I was amazing and I beat everyone's ass, but no one pays to watch me. Who would give me a fight against their cash cow? I'm going to smoke him. And no one wants to see me fight.
Yeah.
Like, so
basically, if you're like a super technical fighter that has no flair, no personality,
that's
anything, it's not very entertaining to watch, but you're good.
Yeah.
It doesn't really sell tickets.
It doesn't really sell tickets, and everyone's in it for money, right? You can be so boring and so good that you make it to the top. Do you know who Triple G is?
Yes.
Yeah, so Triple G did it that way. But he's like from Kazakhstan. He barely talks. He's had 400 fights, and now he's known at 38. Like
that's a great point, bro. Because I watch Triple G. I love the way he fights. I love when he fought Canelo, but he ain't talking, bro. He just smiles. He just puts in the work. And listen, now that's great for Triple G. Not to hate on him, but it's like I really don't care to watch him fight like that. Like I only care to watch him fight because of the way that other people described him fighting. And he just lets the fight do the talking for him. But it's really rare to get to that skill level. It's really hard.
He beats so much ass, they'd eventually say, you know what? Okay, we'll put him in there. But you could do a Conor McGregor, have a few fights with a big mouth and do better, right? Mm-hmm. So that's another element of it. There's a huge element of show business.
Who's better set up for their career, to be Triple G or be Conor McGregor?
Conor McGregor is more famous. It's show business. We live in an attention economy. The economy we live in now is based on attention. If you can get attention in your direction for any reason, bad or good, you will be successful. The Kardashians have no reason to be successful. It's attention. It's the world we live in now. And there's so much information and so much entertainment around. Garnering people's attention, stealing people's attention is difficult to do. But if you can find a way to do that, you're going to do well. I mean, Triple G has money now, whatever. But I'm saying, what's the odds of doing a Triple G having 400 fights and never losing? Like no one can do that but him. He's literally a 1 in a billion. Mm-hmm. So, it's a really bad career path for that. And also there's a huge luck element. You have one bad fight, one bad night, one bad injury. That's it. And for and for the first few years of your fighting, you're getting paid $1,000, $3,000, $2,000. It doesn't even, you need to work on the side. You're giving up all your free time to get punched in the face. Like it's a terrible decision. Like, I don't know why I decided to do it. But eventually, once I was world champion, I'd get like $100,000 a fight, but I'd give 20% to my manager. Then the UK with the UK taxes.
See, bro, and that's the part right there, bro, is that you get paid, what, like you said, 20 or something? You get paid, then you have the manager, you have the club fee, you have so many different fees that you have to pay. At the end of the day, you only get like 40%. Then you have taxes to pay. You have all these different things to pay, bro. You cannot, it's so hard to make a living off fighting, bro. That's why you got to respect all those fighters for all the sacrifices that they've made, especially if they have families. But for sure, but you have to understand that these fighters aren't only making money off fighting, bro. They are literally, doing side hustles, doing whatever they have to do to get money on the table, and then also train, and then also fight and compete, try not to get injured so that they could go back and make more money so that they can make their dream happen. But if you're going to go through this struggle, you have to have personality. You have to be able to market yourself. It's important. And it's important in every single aspect in business. And that's something that you can all take, all right? You don't have to be a fighter. You can have a certain skill set, something that you truly enjoy doing, but be consistent and get better at and learn how to speak about it.
40-50% would disappear, and sometimes you only fight twice a year or whatever. I was certainly not rich. I didn't consider myself rich.
You get like 30 to 40% of the money.
Yeah, and I didn't consider myself rich. Like 30-40 grand chunks, twice a year, maybe 3 times a year. And living in London rents, need a car. Mm-hmm. You're trying, you're not rich in any way. And that's actually the reason I retired, because I woke up one day and I thought, I'm giving 6 hours a day of absolute focus and energy to this. And I believe I'm smart enough that if I put that much tenacity into something else, I can be a multimillionaire. I truly believed that. I was like, I've realized now I've reached the pinnacle of kickboxing. My choice is either to change over to MMA, which I was offered to do earlier in my career, but at the time, the kickboxing contract paid more money. I had to pay the bill, so I went kickboxing. Change over to MMA, learn to wrestle, change over to UFC, blah, blah, blah. But this is also like 7-8 years ago where even the UFC didn't pay the money it pays now.
Mm-hmm. So you see, it's like he was trying to adapt. He was trying to pivot and being like, all right, I've got the skill. I've got the titles. He's even got the persona to a certain extent. And he's adapting. He's learning all these things that he's taken throughout the years. And he's trying to figure out, all right, where can I implement them? Because there's new opportunities coming up, new technology, new promotions. Where can I get into? Always keeping the lookout for these new things. So he's got several different things he's doing on his plate. But he focused on one, and then he was able to branch out to all these other different opportunities. And now he's able to jump on them.
But the UFC still doesn't pay that much money from what I understand.
No, if you're like top 5 or champion, yeah. But most of the dudes you're going to see there in the prelims, they're getting 10 grand a fight, 9 grand a fight. It's nothing, right? Mm-hmm. So it'd be like starting my career all over again. And at the age of 28, I thought I don't have the gumption to start again. I've been through hell for this. I've broken my hand 8 times. My ribs have been broken. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do this all over again. So
what do you do when you realize that, hey, maybe I don't want to keep fighting?
I decided to get rich.
What does that mean to you when you're sitting?
You look at his smile. I decided to get rich. I started pimping. I started playing the game. I started getting online, doing Forex and all that, bro. Online money fast. That's funny, man.
There you're getting, $30,000, $40,000 kind of net on a per fight basis. Is rich to you like, hey, I want a couple $100,000, $1 million, $20 million, $1 billion? I
wanted 30 or 40,000 every month.
30 or 40,000 every month. So about $500,000 a year, give or take.
Okay. I thought if I had that much money, I could do whatever I wanted.
Okay.
That's what I decided.
So what's step one that you?
So that's the goal right there, boys. You got to make 30 or 40K a month to be able to do whatever you want to reach Andrew Tate's level, bro. And let's see how he did it right now.
You do.
So step one is, maybe that's how we ended up here together, my friend. Step one is, decided to be very logical about it. Chess player, right? So it's like, I want money. What is money? How do banks work? How does credit work? What's fractional reserve banking?
Wow. You see, look, chess player, bro. Start learning your finance. Become financially literate. Something that I've been pursuing the last 2 years. Watching financial YouTubers do their thing. Learning economics on the side. Being subscribed to certain forums. And just keeping updated with how the economics in our society is moving. All right. How our financial systems work to a certain extent. I don't know everything. But that's how you start to understand, all right, this is how money works. These are the truths about money, and these are the negatives about money, all right? These are the fallacies about money. Now, how am I going to make money work for me? Because I've been using money the wrong way. If I use money the way everybody else uses it without being financially literate, then guess what? I'm losing out on a percentage. So how can I make more money?
All these things we now know to be the biggest cons of the century, right? So I'm sitting there researching money for days and days and days. And then I get more mad because I'm like, whoa, money's trash and I don't have any. Now I'm really annoyed, right?
Now I'm mad.
I thought like everyone else did that, everyone puts their money in the bank and the bank takes some of other people's money and lends it out. I didn't know they invented it from the sky. I still at that point thought money was linked to gold. I didn't know nothing. So I'm learning all this stuff and I'm getting really angry. I'm like, now this is really annoying me. So anyway, I had a piece of paper there and I'm in my research phase and it start writing down some dude on YouTube. I don't know who he was, some dork. He was a pro gold guy. This is before, Bitcoin was probably around then, but like early. He was a pro gold guy saying buy gold, buy gold, buy gold.
He's a buy gold
and
guy.
He was saying the difference between an asset, a liability, et cetera, et cetera. So I started trying to write down what I had. I was like, I have an apartment, I have a BMW. I'm in good shape.
Damn. All right. So you see, look, before he even started learning about money, he had a BMW. He was in great shape. He knew how to talk to girls. He knew all these things before he even started learning about the monetary system, which is very fascinating. That's crazy. That's great, though. That's great.
I already use that for fighting. What can I do? I can play chess. I'm just writing down the things I have and what I'm good at. And then I kind of realized, I was like, I've got like 8 girlfriends. But because I was traveling the world, and if you win, you get a ring girl. It's kind of like she's banging the winner, right? You win a world title, you get to choose the ring girl you want. It's pretty easy, right? So I had a girlfriend in Slovakia, I had a girlfriend in France, I had a girlfriend in England, all these girlfriends.
Do they know about each other?
No.
Okay.
But they find out pretty soon.
That's crazy, bro. So he had 8 different girls in 8 different places, and none of them knew about each other, bro. Oh, that's savage, bro. How do you even have the time to communicate with all of them? How do you know they're not all cheating on you, bro? That's crazy. The ring girls.
I had all these girlfriends, so I'm like, maybe I could open a strip club and like be a pimp, be a gangster about it. And then that opening a strip club
that's literally the first thing you thought about was opening a strip club?
Well, I thought
yes, bro, because we've grown up watching Goodfellas, Godfather, all the gangster movies, Scarface, So that's the first thing that guys just naturally gravitate towards, I feel, bro. All right. Especially when they hate the government, when they're like, yo, F that, I need to do whatever I gotta do to make money and be financially free.
I have these beautiful girls. How can I? This is before like Twitch existed. So I was like, what can I do with these hot girls? I was like, it's just an asset, right? There's these girls, and a lot of them were messaging me. They thought I was this millionaire world champion. They all wanted to come London, live with me, and thought I was a big boy millionaire and all this stuff. So it's like they do
because of social media.
Well, partially because of that, and also because they met me. I turn up, I fight, I win the world title, I leave. We're texting each other. They assume I'm this big boy, right? So I'm kind of like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I thought, man, I investigated strip clubs, way too much money. But this asset class of beautiful women was kind of on my mind for a few days. And then by absolute coincidence, I stumbled upon somewhere on the internet. I was on one of those websites we used to download like free games and bullshit from. And in the corner somewhere it said, hot girls want to talk to you now or something. I said, hot girls. So I clicked on that, not because I was interested, but because I thought I have hot girls. And it was one of those webcam websites. And I was like, so these girls sit here and talk to dudes for money. So I'm going to get my girls to sit.
And they're naked. They're just
So you see, boom, a light bulb moment, bro. He's like, yo, listen, I figured out all the things that I have. I understand how businesses work now. So let me see what I can put together to make this happen. You know, he also probably has friends that are in certain industries that can help him. And if he's got money, then he can pay.
talking. How does it work?
It's 50-50. I mean, it depends on the girl, depends what she wants to do. But the majority of the job is not based around being naked. The majority of the job is based around being entertaining and being easy to talk to. And the guys who are talking to you need to find you, that you need to remember their name, remember their dog's name. You have to be smart. You can't just be a girl and be a bimbo and be naked and make money. You have to be really smart, charming, interesting, happy all the time, positive.
Mm-hmm. So it's like,
and I thought, I'm going to try this. So
see, that's where it's like a hustler woman who knows what she wants. Go to a strip club, bro. That's where you're going to meet those females. They know exactly what guys want to hear, what kind of, if they're a good stripper, they know how to hustle you. They know how to get their dollars out, bro. They know how to be nice. They know how to be charming. They know how to make you talk, like that. OnlyFans is that today, bro. OnlyFans is that today.
I messaged all 5 of my girlfriends, told them I had a job for them, explained to them what I was going to do. I was going to launch this company. 4 of them agreed. All 4 flew in, sat around the same table. They're all like, who's she, who's she, who's she? I'm like, well, you're all my girlfriends. 2 more left. And then 2 stayed. And that was the beginning of my little attempt at a webcam empire. And I put the girls there and my role in it all.
All right. I've already seen this again, so I'm not going to repeat it. I'm going to stop the interview right here. If you want to see more, let me know. Comment down below. I'll do another one. I'll probably do it with my girl or with a friend or whatever if you want to see more of this interview. If not, then it's going to end here. Thank you for watching me, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget, if you are not subscribed, don't bother subscribing unless I have provided you with actual value you can apply to your life. Thank you for joining me. Also, we are on our way to 2,000 subscribers. If you want to see me go live stream and just do these things live from now on, let me know. I'll try to figure out how to make that work. Thank you for joining me. Peace.